Along with the fall months comes the start of hunting season, and that has some Attleboro residents concerned. The sound of loud gunshots and hunters trespassing on private property have been problems some Attleboro residents have faced in the past, and there has been an effort to combat the issue. The Attleboro Police Department released information reminding the public about the procedures hunters need to follow when hunting within the city. We spoke with Attleboro Police Sergeant Arthur Brillon to learn more about the details.
My name is Arthur Brillon. I'm a sergeant with the Attleboro Police Department, and I also act as the department's public information officer. In response to some concerns and complaints received by the Chief of Police, the Attleboro Police Department is reminding hunters or visitors to the city who come to the city for the purposes of hunting or trapping that they need to obtain permission from the owner of the property. There is a city ordinance which forbids the discharge of a firearm in a public area, on a sidewalk or on a roadway, and there's also a Mass General Law pertains to hunting or trapping on private property without the express permission of the property owner. Areas that are wooded tend to be more attractive to a hunter or a trapper, but here again there are certain specifications or regulations that govern where a firearm can be discharged for the purposes of hunting. And I would strongly recommend that someone, a hunter or a trapper or a visitor to the city, visit the Massachusetts Department of Fish and Game's website. There's quite a bit of information available on that website, and I believe it is mass.gov/DFG, Department of Fish and Games. There certainly are seasons within the year where we see more of this activity, or we receive more complaints, one certainly being during hunting season, which I believe begins in the end of October. But you certainly can obtain more information from that website that I mentioned a moment ago, Department of Fish and Games. For hunters or residents who live along the Rhode Island border, I would recommend them going to this, state website, State of Rhode Island website for the Department of Fishery and Games or similar, to see, although their rules are probably similar, there may be small differences. We certainly encourage persons who have some concerns about someone being on their property. They certainly can call the Attleboro Police Department. Certainly if they have a firearm and they're on this person's property or the resident's property, they can call the police department. The police department will respond, will investigate appropriately, and take any necessary action if it's warranted, to include asking them to leave the property, or I certainly applaud the responsible hunters or trappers out there that take their sport seriously and stay within the guidelines and follow the rules. I would encourage residents to call the police department, not necessarily go out and confront the person themselves, but to call the police department and let the police officer respond and investigate appropriately.